Welcome to another Insta Live. And today we have a very special guest. Let me quickly invite her. What we are going to be discussing today is plastic handloom. We don't really know what it means, right? But don't worry, the very special guest we have today, Amita Deshpande. Welcome, Amita.
Hi, well, thank
So great
you.
to have you here. So let me just quickly introduce everybody to you. I'm sure I'm not going to be able to do justice, but still I'll try. So Amita Deshpande, she has pioneered plastic handloom, and we'll know all about what that is during this session. She runs reCharkha Eco Social, which does amazing work. I am a big fan. I'm like a fangirl of Amita, really. And so I'm super excited to be speaking with you, Amita, today. Welcome again.
Yeah. थोड़ा सा आप कमी करो, please. Sorry. Yeah. Tell me.
No worries. Yes. Welcome. And I think we'd like to start with knowing about you and your story. You have an amazing history and background in the sustainability industry. We want to know how that transformed into your calling to upcycling plastic using a charkha.
It's definitely a very long story. So it all started like in my early years in as a teenager. I always used to be a very conscious person, not using too much of plastic because I could see that it was becoming a big problem. And I first of all myself I took steps. I obviously bugged all my family members to do the same and went on to do my regular career options which are there in general life. So I did my engineering. After doing my engineering I realized that this is definitely not what I want to do. After working in that field for a few years, so I decided to go ahead and do my masters, and I choose US of all the countries to do my masters, where which is the most sustainable country. And so I went and I studied there as a part of my program. I did some courses in sustainable development, and then I decided to work there for a few years and then move back to India to
Mhm.
start my own consultancy in CSR and sustainability. And then while doing that, I realized that there is need to do some grassroots level work, not just consulting is going to help, and that wasn't satisfying me enough as well. So I decided to choose what I want to do, and obviously the passion of plastic waste came to the forefront. And I want to do something about this. But what
Hmm.
then came the handicraft aspect because that is the largest producer provider of employment, and that's how
Hmm.
the two got together and. The whole concept of upcycling plastic waste was born, which is now called reCharkha.
Wow, and I love the name. Like it, reCharkha. It just brings back the nostalgia, right? The things that we love most from our childhood. It just brings that back. So wonderful, Amita. I love to hear your story. Every time I hear it, I've seen some of your interviews as well, and it's all really, yeah. It's like I'm a fangirl. I have to say that. You probably see it from my face, but yes. Okay. Next, what I really want to know from you is what is the story of creating your the flagship reCharkha handbags? Like, how does it? What is the process? How does it come? How does it transform into the plastic waste? From the plastic waste into the beautiful handbags that you guys have.
That's
Oh
what it is,
yes,
right? This
yeah,
is where
yeah.
it all came from. All of this comes from our household. So these are all your packets of plastic bags and MLP and bread packets and God knows what all. So everything that comes wrapped, even the gift wrappers, the glittery gift wrappers. So all of that is first collected from households. We wash and sanitize all of that. Again, we use biodegradable sanitizers to do so. Then
Mhm.
we sort them into different colors because whatever you see behind me and our products are all original colors of the waste. We don't dye them. So the
Hmm.
colors are sorted according to the combinations that we want to design. Once that is done, we manually cut the plastic waste into strips. And
Hmm.
then we use a traditional charkha and a hand loom to weave all of that together to create a fabric. So the entire process is manual because we are trying to create employment for our tribal women and youth and rural women now with our new center starting near Pune.
Hmm.
So that's how all the
Interesting.
products are made. So these are some of our most favorite bags, which everybody loves. The glittery, blingy ones. Then
Oh
we have
yeah.
our duffel bags. We have lots of other things. So many other products that we have. I'll
The,
take around later on to
yeah,
show
the
you what
small
we have.
bags. I think my favorite is the laptop sleeve because it is so high utility and like everybody these days can use it. We all need laptop sleeves, so why not buy one from reCharkha, right?
Thank you. Thank you so
Yes.
much.
So, for people who have joined in late, today we are talking about plastic handloom with reCharkha Eco Social. Have so far upcycled. There is a difference. They have upcycled 14 million pieces of plastic bags and wrappers, etc., into beautiful handbags, beautiful purses that you are seeing. Amita is showing us today. And they've also provided 42,000 livelihood days to people. Amita, correct me if I got the numbers wrong, but yes. Okay. So, Amita, why don't you tell me what are the biggest challenges that you face running a sustainability company, running a company which is doing so much to reduce plastic waste, and it is doing so much for the tribal and rural women and youth.
Yeah. So see, the problem is twofold, and both of it is awareness related. Okay. So one is the awareness of how people are creating waste. So first of all, waste should not be created. Obviously,
Yeah.
the lesser waste we create, the better it's going to be for all of us to live on this planet. Secondly, if the waste is also created, it has to be segregated in the first place. So that is
Hmm.
not happening to a large extent right now. Though through our awareness generation efforts, things have changed over the past 7 years, but it is still a lot that needs to be changed. So that is our major challenge, that waste segregation is not happening. And only when waste segregation starts happening properly, will upcycling, recycling, and all of these industries will be able to do their work at the best. Okay, this is the biggest challenge we've always had. The second big challenge is making people understand what the product is. So a lot of the products that we obviously all the products that we make take a lot of time, lot of effort. So for a bag like this, to make a bag like this, it
Hmm.
actually takes over 2 days, 2 days of labor work to create
Wow.
a bag like this. So
Hmm.
just imagine how much we have to spend on making the product, how much effort has gone behind making the product. So we need to make people understand that it is not a machine-made product, and there is a lot of effort that have gone in it. A lot of people
Hmm.
don't understand why the bags have different colors and why can't they get exactly the yellow color that the lady in the Instagram
Hmm.
page had, because that color's over and we are using original colors of all the wrappers, and 40 plastic bags made one bag and that bag is gone. So now we don't
Hmm.
have yellow plastic, we have to make blue, green, whatever other plastic waste comes. The glitter, the sling, the silver and bling, people love it. Some people have a problem with the bling also, but they're okay eating the wafers inside the bling packets, but
Yeah.
they have a problem in carrying the bling bag. So it's all a nightmare. So all of this awareness generation, which is the biggest challenge I find in our work. So that is why I do all the talking. Most of the times I'm just blabbering to make people understand this problem.
That's so true. And in fact, that's why we started Nature Healers, just to educate people about what are the problems humanity is facing in terms of waste management, in terms of energy efficiency, everything around climate change. And yeah, and so like we feel so connected with the work that reCharkha is doing simply because you're helping reduce the already generated plastic waste. Of course, I think you rightly said waste should not be generated. The ideal is it should be a circular economy at the end of it. Whatever we consume should go back to earth, and new things should grow out of it. So, yeah. So, having said that, tell me how's your experience working with the tribal women? with the tribal youth, rural youth?
That's always fun because sometimes we end up. So it's most of the times it's fun, but then
Yeah.
sometimes it's a big challenge to handle them also because it sometimes feels like rather than they working for us and getting the benefits of getting employment in their village without having to go outside, we
Hmm.
sometimes feel we are only working for them and we want
Hmm.
them to work for us. Just to make them aware as to what they're doing, why they're doing it, that again becomes a big challenge for us. But it's fun. They've been working with us for so many years now, especially the village in Dadra Nagar Haveli. They've been working with us for over 6 years. And most of the ones who had joined us are still working with us, except
Hmm.
for a few who got married and went away to another village. The original people who started with us are still there. So
Hmm.
the consistency, the commitment, once they know what they're doing, they stick around, and that's how
Hmm.
we want
Yeah.
things to happen. Even in our Pune unit, some of our employees, artisans, have been with us for 7 years now. So
Hmm.
I'm very proud of them. And we always wanted to work in a village because I always felt that in rural areas, employment is a big challenge. In the
Hmm.
city, something or the other they find. कुछ भी नहीं मिला तो कुछ ना कुछ गार्डनिंग का काम कर लेंगे, घर का
Hmm.
बर्तन मांजने का काम कर लेंगे. But in the villages, they don't have any other source of livelihood other than farming, which is
Hmm.
increasingly declining now.
Hmm.
So that's why the tribal women, the rural women, that's what our focus is.
That's amazing. Um, so, how big is your team right now? How many women do you work with?
We're over 45 people now with the
45.
new unit also coming up. Yeah.
And is it all women or is it a mix of men, women?
Very few men. So we are a largely women run organization. We have, I think, only eight men. Yeah, we have only 8 men. Rest all are women. So it's a
Yeah,
girls' world here.
yeah, that is so unlike other organizations these days, right? I mean, like usually organizations are men heavy, they're male heavy, even in the sustainability business or corporate sustainability business. So it is
Yeah.
really refreshing to hear that your team is actually very female heavy,
Yes.
providing livelihood to so many tribal women.
Yeah.
Um, yes, and there are two questions that the audience has. One is, I think, from somebody who joined in late. They want to know where did you do your masters from and in what?
Oh yeah, sure. I was in the US and at the Purdue University. The business school of Purdue is called Cranard School of Management. That's where I did my master's in industrial administration with a focus on sustainable development. So
Hmm.
actually, funny enough, but Purdue didn't have a proper course in sustainability, and we had to carve out a course in my last final module because I wanted to do study. Like I wanted my major to be in sustainability, so I did a lot of Joel, got in touch with some professors there, carved out a whole subject and a whole elective for myself. So it was a funny story, and everybody in that area in that sector of Purdue knew me that she's the sustainability girl and she wants to do something in that field. So finally, I did that as my final module major.
Wow. So we need to be thanking you that now it's easy for us to take sustainability courses in
Yeah,
universities.
yeah. I think so. And there are now lots of universities who are offering such programs. There are programs in waste management also that are being offered. So I think today it's much better. I did my master's in 2010. So it's been 12 years already. So it was a different situation then.
Yeah, but definitely, like in the last decade, we have seen so much evolution in the sustainability space and climate action space. I think things have become so much more formal now, and it's so much more easier to get into it,
Yep.
even if you are wanting to get into it as a career or just working on it or just, contributing or share
Yep.
to climate action. So, yeah, thank you for starting the movement, I should say.
Definitely, as in I feel that we did try to carve the path for the next generations to come.
Yes, absolutely. And these days, I can see it's very heartening. So many youngsters are actually getting into sustainability and climate as their
Yeah.
field of choice, and that is very motivating. That just keeps me going every day as well.
Totally, totally. So that's what, we also get so many resumes, so many applications for job seekers, for internships, for volunteers. So we're
Hmm.
very glad that things are changing. And yes, we are hiring. So if anybody is interested in applying, you can apply as well.
So, what are the roles that people should be looking for?
So right now we are, as in it's not there on the website if I'm not wrong, but we are hiring for a position for digital marketing and for communications associate. The more we have, the better it is always. So that is a role that we always keep looking for. But digital marketing is one that we are now looking for as well.
Absolutely. I think I can vouch for that. For anybody who is wanting to work in climate, just jump into it. It's so fulfilling. It is just so good.
Then,
It just
as in
feels
you
like
don't feel you when you go home at night, you feel like satisfied with what you've done. I'm sure
exactly.
it is what you feel as well, right,
Oh,
Ankita?
yeah. I sleep very well at night, knowing that, I'm spending my time well, which
Yeah,
wasn't the case 1, 2 years ago when I was not working in climate.
totally, totally.
Yes. Okay, another question, and this is a question even I have actually. How do you stick the strips together in order for it to look like a yarn and then eventually for it to look like a fabric?
So these are longish strips, so we cut it in a way that we get a very long strips, and then we put them together on the loom itself. So we sort of align them while weaving them itself.
Okay.
So it's
So,
very cumbersome. It takes a lot of time to do that, but that is what we do.
is that something you have in your store right now that you might be able to show? Because I think for somebody who hasn't seen it, it's difficult to imagine.
So the way we join them,
Yes.
no, we don't have that in the store. That's in our production
Yeah.
work. Yeah.
Talking about the store, actually, why don't you give us a quick tour of the store?
Oh, I
Are
can do
you
that. Yep, I can do that. Let me
Oh, wow.
just pull up the phone. So these are our wallets. Then these are our clutches, our
Mhm.
pouches. That's a vertical planter.
Oh, wow.
And then these are again table mats. This is my favorite. It's a cutlery kit. So it
Yes.
comes equipped with a napkin, a straw cleaner, spoon, and fork. So that's one of my favorites. Then these are our hottest selling bags of all times. These are our backpacks. And this is our veteran beach bag. Again, a lot of shopper totes, messenger bags. Then these are
Mm.
our duffel bags, which you can use for traveling or for gym use. These are our yoga bags.
Wow.
What else? Then these are some of our home decor products. So this is a planter here. It's a storage organizer, another organizer, a tissue holder, fanny packs. Then this is a game. So we've recently launched a game,
Oh,
which is
wow.
a memory game, a card game actually. So it has different uh, prints. These are again hand drawn and then digitally printed, hand painted, digitally printed. And two cards of the same type are available so that you can flip them. So you usually put them down, uh, pick up two cards at the same time. If they match, you win that particular card. So it's an interesting game.
This so
Um,
reminds me of my
this is
childhood.
yeah, and it's fun to play at all age groups. So this
Yeah.
is your laptop sleeve, what you were talking about. And the fun part of what we do, everything that we do is upcycle. So in this laptop sleeve, even the padding that we use is made of bubble wraps or waste foam. We don't use new foam or new bubble wraps.
Hmm.
So this is what we have. A lot of things. Our fanny pack, again, one of our favorite, hottest favorite, potlies, backpacks, all of this.
And to think that all of this used to be plastic waste wrappers and plastic bags, and now they're turned into something so beautiful that you would
Ex-
actually want to own.
Exactly, exactly. That's the problem. We all are creating so much waste. We need to slow down, guys. We really need to slow down because we can't upcycle at the rate which we are creating waste. Every minute, 10 lakh plastic bags are being used worldwide. Every
Yeah,
minute.
yeah. Tate 2909 has a question. Madam, can I start this in my area? I live in Odisha. Would you share something about this?
See, we are happy to start. We are looking at a way to start it in different parts of the country. But first, we need to build the market. Only when we build the market can the products that we make in Odisha in your village be sold. Otherwise, those products will just sit in your workshop and inventory will keep rising. So to make it sustainable, let's work on expanding our market. So if you think you can help, you want to try out testing the products in your market, reach out to us. In Odisha, also you have bigger cities like Bhubaneswar, Puri, where you can try experiment selling them. We will then take it from there.
So we have got the supply. We need to increase demand so that we can increase supply. That's in
Correct. And
short.
increase of production. Correct. So more
That's right.
and more of these production centers can be set up in other places around the country.
Right. So you can reach out to Amita if you want to know more. You can reach out on their handle reCharkha Eco Social, and they will guide
Yep.
you all through doing this,
Correct.
increasing demand and then increasing supply as well.
Exactly.
Dire SS We has a comment. This is so refreshing, and a lot of hearts after that.
Thank you.
And then Two Silent Eyes says, "I'm interested in applying, ma'am." So I would assume that you just go on
Yeah,
to
yeah.
their site, reach
Yep.
out to social, or drop them a message, drop them a DM on Instagram, and definitely like we like the climate community, we would love to have you on board in climate work, especially.
Totally. Totally. Totally.
Yes. So, I mean, the one thing I've always had in my mind, sustainability is usually not correlated with fashion or trendiness or stylishness. But I think reCharkha just turns the tables on that. Where do you get inspired to for all of these designs? What is your inspiration behind this sustainable fashion?
Oh, lovely. So yes, we did not start it as a very fashion-driven product because I don't come from a fashion background, but as in how we started getting more and more design students working with us, our designer now, Abhirami, she's here as well. If you see her there in that corner,
Hmm.
so she's a designer, so she's the one who comes up with interesting patterns for our weaves and products, and that's what I think is very very interesting. When we obviously get inspired with what is around us. Um, Sometimes the weaves are inspired by the women creating it in their own minds. So now, initially, we taught them some patterns which will look good, and now they come up with their own ideas, their own interesting patterns. So I'll show you one pattern which they have created on their own.
Hmm.
Um, Look at this bag.
Wow.
So
This
this
is
color and this pattern is totally created by them. So obviously our designer taught them how to do the interlocking weave here.
hmm.
But this color combination that this will look good is totally done by them. So really hats off to them that coming up with interesting color combinations in the heap of garbage and heap of plastic that they see in front of them.
Yeah.
Challenging. And they're doing a good job with it. So kudos to our weaving team.
So, in short, the karigars that you have who are sitting and weaving everything, they are the creative heads behind the sustainable fashion.
Totally,
It's so
totally.
trendy, so stylish when you see it. So, For those who have joined late, I can see some comments. Today we are talking about plastic handloom, and
Yeah.
Amita is showing us around their work on reCharkha, which is upcycling plastic waste into beautiful handbags and tote bags and purses and whatnot, really. And a game now. Wow.
That's one of the favorite, one of the newest products.
It is, yeah. Okay. Bit _ U108 has a comment.
हाँ,
थोड़ा सस्ता करो ना product. So I think
करेंगे आप लोग वेस्ट क्रिएट करना बंद कर दो हम प्रोडक्ट सस्ता कर सकते हैं.
that's a lovely answer.
Yeah, but keeping fun aside, we are actually not making money. Don't worry. We are
Yeah,
not a very far profit driven company. We are charging whatever money we are charging are for the efforts of our team. So we are very open and very honest about the effort that goes in, and the money that we are putting in the organization is given to the right effort. सो देर इज नो मार्जिन. हम इससे प्रोडक्ट सस्ता कर सकते हैं, बट अगर किया तो हमको कंपनी बंद करना पड़ेगा. सो इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल. इट्स अ क्राफ्ट. इट्स नॉट अ मशीन मेड प्रोडक्ट कि अगर मैं 1,000 बनाऊंगी तो प्रोडक्ट सस्ता हो जाएगा. इट्स नॉट पॉसिबल. अ प्रोडक्ट, अ बैग लाइक दिस always will take 2 days to make. Always. No matter you make one or no matter you make 20,000. So it's impossible to reduce the price. So I think people should understand that it's a handicraft, it's a handmade product, and I don't want to replace those people with machines. If I replace them with machines, then obviously products sasta ho sakta hai. But that's not the point of our work.
that's right. And I'd like to add one thing over there. And this totally relates to fast fashion. The reason why fast fashion is so cheap and you can buy a handbag like this, um, uh, let's say for 300 or 400 rupees, that is because of ethics. Those bags, the cheap ones, are actually made in places like Bangladesh and Vietnam. And the people who make them, they go through horrendous conditions. They're not paid well. They're not, even if they are sick, they have to work. It's very inhumane conditions. Honestly, I wouldn't want to buy something that is taking that kind of an input to create.
Exactly.
And
And we always go and buy products worth thousands of rupees from malls without bargaining with them. So a lot
yeah,
of people come and try to bargain with us. I'm like, okay, go buy the ones from the mall. Maybe you want to use a branded bag which is made in
yeah,
some god forsaken place, but you're still happy with the discount. Go buy it. We are not
yeah,
not making all of those things.
true. So DP Core 10 is asking, do you plan to tap clothing market also?
We want to. You want to be a designer. It's a little difficult to make clothes with the fabric, but we are experimenting. Let's see.
Awesome, awesome. That's great to hear. Actually, plastic fabric is not that bad in terms of wearing it. I shouldn't say not that bad. What I should say is that it's already ubiquitous because polyester, nylon, rayon, all of these are plastic fibers. So, however, it's not good for your skin, it's not good for your health, it's not good for the environment. So,
Yeah. Even if
yeah,
we make something which is, for outer wear.
yes,
So
that's right.
we're experimenting.
Absolutely. Key shot, sorry, K shot SRKP says amazing work,
That's
Amita. Love
Rahul.
it.
That's Rahul. He's our newest supporter. He's our photographer.
Oh wow,
Really, yeah, really glad. We did a very nice photo shoot with him and Vibhavari just 3 days ago.
wow, awesome, awesome. All right, so that's it with our questions. If you have any more questions, just put it in the questions tab. If you put it in the comments, I might miss it. But I do want to close it out, Amita, with asking you what is the one advice that you'd like to give to our viewers watching today and those who will be watching this video later as well?
Uh, First of all, thank you so much, Ankita, Nikhil, the entire team of Nature Healers that all invited us, and you've been trying to collaborate and do all of these interesting things which are coming up with us. So thanks for that. The last message that I want to give to everybody who's watching here is, guys, let's reduce this waste. There is no point in creating waste. No matter how much we upcycle, no matter how much we recycle, it's impossible to get rid of this waste. So the only way is to change our behavior. So go waste free, go plastic free. You get lots of options in the market which you don't need plastic packaging on. You can go buy vegetables and fruits in your own bag. You don't have to go to supermarkets where they are wrapped in plastic. You can go pluck them from trees, grow trees. So all of that. Also, I try to buy loose dals and pulses and sugar so that I can take my own container or take my own old plastic bag and put things in it and bring back home. So you can do all of that. Our Instagram has all these interesting tips that you can follow. Whenever you are buying something, always look at alternatives of packaging. So whenever, even if a product is a little expensive but it has sustainable packaging, I buy that, because in my case, I feel that I'm supporting the right cause. So do that. Choices in your hands. There's we who are the choosers. We are the ones who are going to train the producers to make things, because we are the buyers. So we have to choose, we have to demand, only then will those products come into the market. So let's be conscious consumers, because it's a consumer driven economy. We have a very huge responsibility, all us buyers. So let's not go for only discounts. Like you said, don't go for fast fashion. Think consciously. We are the ones who make choices.
I think that's wonderful advice. And Dionysus, we has one more question. How can we keep track of further waste collection sessions of reCharkha like the one you recently did in the Pune College campus?
Yeah. So you can, if are you in Pune? If yes, then again we have a cleanup drive on this Sunday on Environment Day itself. So you can be a part of it. If you're not in Pune, you can create your own group in your own city, and we will help you do the outreach to gather volunteers. And you can find places where cleanup drives are required. So we can create small communities in different parts of the country, and we'll help you create the volunteers, because we do have a large volunteer base in every city, every town. So it will be a wonderful community initiative. So, for example, right now on Sunday, we also have one more cleanup drive in Tadoba National Park, which is near Nagpur. So we want, if people are around in Chandrapur and Nagpur, go join them in Tadoba on Sunday to clean up some parts of the national park.
Wow, amazing. That's actually really great to hear. So, anywhere you are in India, if you have a zeal, just get in touch with reCharkha. They'll help you arrange a volunteer program, to arrange a cleanup drive, to arrange a collection drive of single-use plastic, of plastic wrappers, etc. And then I'm assuming we can send that over to reCharkha, and reCharkha can make good use of it. Wow, I think that's a great note to end on. Okay, Shastri Chetan says, I want to volunteer. I'm currently in Bangalore. How do I join?
Nice. So y'all can lead. You're in Bangalore too, right?
No, I'm in Ahmedabad.
Oh, okay. So we can come. Let's talk if you are in Bangalore, and if there are more people in Bangalore who want to come together and do something like this, we will be able to drive it from here. So let me know. Connect with us separately.
Awesome. So I think that's the call to action we're all going to take back today. Wherever you are, if you want to organize a cleanup drive, if you want to organize a collection drive,
Yep.
get in touch with reCharkha, DM them on their Insta handles, or reach out to them through their websites, and they'll
Sure.
help you make your dream into a reality.
Totally.
All right then. Oh, okay.
There's
I
another
think
question.
we really want to keep talking. So Shrija Nath J, can we also be a part of reCharkha even if we are from Nepal?
Yeah, you can do that cleanup drive in Nepal. Why not? So,
Awesome.
and I think your country also needs a lot of waste management because a lot of tourists, Indian tourists, foreign tourists come there and dump all their waste there. So, yes, we need to do it there as well. So, a lot of people approach us asking us whether we can start our upcycling center in their areas, including Nepal. So, there are two things you need to do before we start upcycling, which is what we're doing in Tadoba. One is start collecting waste first. Segregation at source is important. So, first do that. Once you collect about a ton of plastic waste, then come to us and tell us to do the next steps. And secondly, start creating a market. Because if we have people who are supporting the cause that we're doing, buying products, anyways, people are going to go shopping. So why not shop sustainable? When you buy and shop sustainable, we'll be able to create more and more livelihood centers.
That is so refreshing to hear, really. I want to repeat what Daira Safi had said. Then Art I Ibadat says, Ma'am, I want to join. Again, just drop a note to reCharkha on their Insta handle. And how can I be a part? Oh, a lot of people want to join in. I think this is very hopeful.
Yes, I think there are repeat questions, so you can actually rewind the live a little bit later on and watch it. But
Yes.
PM us if you have any more questions, and my dear colleague Vedika and Vani are the ones who will reply to you and your messages.
I think that's a great note on which to end the session. There's so much you all can do, whoever is watching and whoever will watch later. And the time to start is now, really. So let's do it. And yeah, thanks a lot, Amita, for taking out the time to speak with us. I think this was such a pleasure to be talking to you. I've been waiting for this opportunity for quite some time. So yes, so thank you so much, and hopefully this is going to be the first of many sessions. We'll probably go into more detail on specific topics in some other sessions on plastic as well. And yeah, really happy to have you.
Thank you. Thanks. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks, Ankita.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Bye
Bye.
bye.